Rose Revolution, Georgia, 2003. Overview. The Rose Revolution in Georgia began following the parliamentary elections of November 2003. The election results were considered fraudulent by the opposition, leading to widespread protests across the country. The protests were led by Mikhail Saakashvili, Zurab Zvania, and Nino Burjanadze. The movement was peaceful, and the name Rose Revolution came from the roses held by protesters as a symbol of nonviolence. Effects of Rose Revolution. Number 1. Government change. President Eduard Shevardnadze, under pressure from the protesters and with international intervention, was forced to resign. This opened the way for new elections. Number 2. Rise of new leadership. Mikhail Saakashvili, one of the protest leaders, won the presidential election in 2004 and initiated political and economic reforms in the country. Number 3. Closer relations with the West. The Rose Revolution strengthened Georgia's ties with Western countries, particularly the United States and the European Union. Saakashvili sought to bring Georgia closer to NATO and implemented democratic reforms. Number 4. Tensions with Russia. These changes led to strained relations with Russia, culminating in the Georgia-Russia War in 2008 over the regions of Abkhazia and South Ossetia. Orange Revolution, Ukraine, 2004 to 2005. Overview. The Orange Revolution in Ukraine began after the 2004 presidential election, in which Viktor Yanukovych was declared the winner. The opposition, led by Viktor Yushchenko and Yulia Tymoshenko, claimed widespread election fraud. Thousands of people took to the streets wearing orange, the color of Yushchenko's campaign, demanding new elections. Number 1. New elections. Under pressure from the protesters and the Ukrainian Supreme Court, a second-round election was held in December 2004. This time, Viktor Yushchenko won the presidency. Number 2. Democratic strengthening. The Orange Revolution is seen as one of the most successful of the color revolutions, pushing Ukraine towards democratic reforms. The new government sought to reduce Russian influence and strengthen relations with the West and the European Union. Number 3. Increased tensions with Russia. The Orange Revolution and Yushchenko's pro-Western policies worried Russia, which continued to support Yanukovych. These tensions eventually led to later crises, including the 2014 annexation of Crimea by Russia and the ongoing conflict in eastern Ukraine. Number 4. Political instability. Despite its successes, the Orange Revolution's legacy was marred by political infighting between Yushchenko and Tymoshenko, which led to renewed political instability in Ukraine. Tulip Revolution, Kyrgyzstan, 2005. Review. The Tulip Revolution in Kyrgyzstan occurred in March 2005 following parliamentary elections. Opposition leaders, led by Kurmanbek Bakiyev, claimed the elections were fraudulent. Protests erupted, particularly in the southern regions, and eventually spread across the country, leading to the ousting of President Askar Akayev, who fled the country and resigned. Number 2. Political instability. Kyrgyzstan continued to face political instability after the revolution. In 2010, Bakiyev himself was ousted after public dissatisfaction and renewed protests. Number 3. Regional impact. The Tulip Revolution had a significant impact on other Central Asian countries, raising concerns about the potential for similar uprisings. Many of these countries strengthened their government controls to prevent similar protests. Number 4. Social and economic impact. The revolution exacerbated ethnic tensions within Kyrgyzstan and placed additional pressure on its economy, particularly given the country's dependence on foreign aid and economic support.